And now, all your random useless info, it's Friday Nights with Jeff and Joe. Do you want me to say the intro
No,
again?
I wasn't going to have you do the intro.
That is right. We are here. It's Friday, November, what is it?
4th, I believe.
November
Last time
4th.
I checked.
This lovely evening. It is beautiful outside.
It is really nice. Surprised how...
For November.
It was pretty bad last week, I think it was. Yeah. One point I walked outside.
It was nipply.
It was cold. It was so cold I was like, I just need to start wearing
glass
jackets.
cutters. I turned into a glass cutter last week.
Anyways, thank you for joining us. As Joe said, it's Friday night, November 4th, a little after 6:30 p.m. here, Central Standard Time. Joe and I decided we wanted to do a podcast.
Yes, we did.
And so we quickly set this up, and we're going to wing it. We're not really quite sure how this is going to work, but guaranteed that we will have a good time, and we're going to talk about random things. So if you got something we want to talk about,
starting off with the weather, because what else do you talk about?
The weather. All right, here we go.
There's a couple old people, maybe not even old people, because people my age and your age, which happen to be millennials.
Old people sitting in this room talking about weather, that's for sure. Go ahead.
Well, when we're not looking at our phones.
I never noticed the weather.
I don't know what to talk about. Hey, the sun's out today.
Anyways, go on with your topic, Joseph. You digress.
It's really nothing. Just besides the fact that, yes, it is absolutely. It's actually, that global warming thing, is that a real deal? You're on the spot now, Jeff.
The global warming.
The global warming.
I'm sure things are getting warmer, but I don't believe it to be like the massive problem people think it to be. Because here's why. I'm going to tell you why right now.
Excited.
Ready? Because I'll be dead before it causes any major problems.
That's
so,
not
and that's not saying
Your
I don't
children
care
are gonna
about my
suffer.
children's children. So as I stare at a one bin recycling sign, I do recycle. My wife is very, very strict on recycling. She yells at me for everything, and so she keeps me in line. So our kids have a future.
Well, good for you, Jeff. Glad you recycle. Did you know? Just came out today.
I love how you put me on the spot for global warming, and then you're just like,
totally what I'm
I want
do.
to talk about something more exciting. Thanks, pal.
This is not exciting, but it's terrifying.
Okay, go
more
ahead.
terrifying stuff. There is a rip in the magnetic field. Just read it.
Okay.
I didn't read into it. I read the title.
What that means.
Should I look it up?
I'm not that smart, Joe. We're gonna talk about that
Hold
later.
on a second. Just talk
You
amongst
digress.
yourselves.
Okay, I'm going to talk
amongst
amongst
yourselves.
myself. So as I was saying earlier, please check back every week. Joe and I will be sitting down every Friday night and talking about random things, just getting to normal dudes' opinion on things. So we're going to try to keep it PG, but I guarantee you it will not stay PG. So if you have anything, please let us know. We do not have an email address or a Facebook or anything yet.
Most likely will.
But more than likely, I will edit that information in at the end of this podcast. So you'll have
while
it.
perusing, Russian scientists have discovered a secret Nazi base in the Arctic.
Where are you getting these stories from, Joe? You have like the worst
This is on
webpage
the Science Channel,
man.
man.
The Science Channel.
Yeah.
I've
And
never
then I
heard
have
such a
another
thing.
one. I'm going to break that PG rule right away. It's called I Fucking Love Science. And that's
So,
the one I think I'm going to find.
There you are, folks. 4 minutes in, we've got our first fuck.
Yep.
So,
Yep. There's
That
a
lasted
crack
really long.
in the Earth's magnetic field. Hold on a second. Now, cold reading, terrible at it. So, again, if you just want to... hey, Super Troopers coming out with a new movie.
Yeah, so Joe and I have discussed that he and I do not have a lot of topics, conversations in common, other than what boys usually talk about, which may or may not be the best conversation for these podcasts. So, our love of movies, though, is a very endearing to both of us. So, we're talking about top 5 movies, and I'm going to throw one out there that I watched just this Halloween, Hocus Pocus. Now, if you don't know, for those at home, Hocus Pocus is a great, middle school age kid Halloween movie. It has Bette Midler.
I'm totally giving up.
It has
on
Bette
this, and I'm
Midler.
just
Joe,
gonna
look
join
it
the
up on your phone.
conversation.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what Hocus Pocus is?
Of course,
first?
and that's why I'm going to join the conversation.
Bette
I've
Midler
ditched
and
the whole
Sarah
magnetic
Jessica
field.
Parker. People want to hear about us talking about movies, not magnetic ozone layer
Just
stuff.
saying.
Anyways,
It's got to be that one person.
And there's a little black cat, and there's a boy and a girl, they're brother sister, and this whole rigmarole happens to them, and it's epic, legendary, a great movie. So I just want to say that was one of my favorite Halloween movies. Joe, do you have a favorite Halloween style movie? That's a good topic.
Halloween. Okay, this going along the lines of a middle school kid movie, but actually younger.
Okay. So not middle
Not
school.
middle school
okay,
at all.
Right, go ahead.
More so like 4 or 5 year olds. So like a year ago, 2 years ago, the 6-year-old that I live with, she absolutely.
Please clarify. For our
No,
listeners.
my girlfriend's 6-year-old.
There you go. Thank you.
Last year, just could not stop watching on Netflix The Halloween Hound, and I ended up like thoroughly enjoying this movie, and to this day request it, and she is now like, really, because she's 6 going on 25, so it's like, sorry, I'm on to like whatever Jessie on the Disney Channel.
Halloween Hound. I'm unfamiliar. Can you refresh me here?
So basically, it goes along with like basically the Buddy movies or Air Buds.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that what
Oh
that is?
here
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right
Yeah.
now. Okay, so it's the guy's
of course-
name is
yeah.
Wishbone. Or Soccer the
No,
dog?
That is that
Nope.
goes back to when you were younger.
97.
What's the story, Wishbone? Did you ever see that movie?
No, I don't.
TV show.
Apparently, no. It's a
Okay.
It's a
Well,
two-part
okay.
TV
The premise
special.
of the movie
Okay,
is
here we go.
that so there's a curse put upon. Oh, geez, wow! Because I didn't get to watch it this year because you wasn't a fan of it.
now
now?
you look kind of silly right now.
I know, but-
that you're like,
Okay,
oh, I love this.
Basically, so
It's a huge.
the kid goes in to a haunted house, and this guy's like summoning demons or like opening a gateway to hell, which is real good for kids.
yeah.
In this, I don't know if the kid gets turned into a dog or if it's the dog. No, this kid totally gets turned into a dog. Oh yeah, totally.
so
you're
he's-
looking at it.
There's a large bull mastiff looking dog. So a
Yeah, but
bigger
that's
dog.
the evil dog.
It's the evil dog.
Yeah. So well, but anyways, of course the kid is stuck in this this mansion, and then as time goes on, it's kind of like Hocus Pocus, where these other kids, mischief kids, come and like break the curse, or at least open up the gateway again, and this bad guy comes back, and all the terrible things ensue after that. But no, to catch it back up to legitimacy, I, for the first time last year, saw what's that one with Halloween and Christmas together? The night before.
Oh, yeah, the night before Christmas.
That's what it. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, the
Right.
one with Jack
Yeah.
Skellington. Yeah, great.
I
movie.
like that. That was
Great
very
movie.
good.
Yeah, great movie.
Good tunes in that one.
Yep. That's
Um,
that's what I wanted to have my daughter watch, but unfortunately, she is only 4, and I did not want her to get too scared.
This is
Yeah,
Halloween.
it's
Halloween.
cool, but then it gets really dark
Yeah,
at
it
some
does.
point.
Like when they steal Santa Claus and the boogeyman wants to eat him.
yeah, where he
kind of a big
turns
deal.
his rag sack clothes turn into worm.
Yeah.
It's just it's not good. So,
But
okay, go ahead.
well, also, and I'm totally just stealing your mic time here.
No, go.
Um,
I'm looking something up. To
But
be
like
honest, for the
all
listeners.
year long, especially nowadays, the amount of like terrifying movies that are out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to watch them. You got like The Conjuring, and whatever your views of the Paranormal Activity movies are. That movie. If you want to talk about Halloween and a scary movie. So what was it? 6 years ago when the first one came out, and it was only in select theaters.
Yeah, and
I
didn't
drove
people
down
like
to Madison.
people thought it was real, right?
Yeah. Well, and two, I don't know. I didn't think it was real, but I was terrified. So I drove down to Madison because I wanted to see it.
The first one was in 2009,
So that would be around
7 years ago.
Drove down to Madison, and I thought this movie was about ghosts because it's just paranormal activity,
Sure.
like whatever.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh my
Too
God.
scary.
So I sit down in this movie theater, and mind you, to catch everyone up with who I am, I'm terrified of Satan. He's a pretty scary guy, right? Or demons in general. I mean, they can do some terrible things
Yeah,
to you.
mhm. That's the thought.
And by the way, while we're on the topic, I'm just going to plug our other podcast, Paranormal Palaver,
Yes.
That will be posted, I think, beginning and the end of the week.
Yes.
But that is with Krista and myself, and we talk about all things paranormal.
Yes. I don't really necessarily believe in that kind of stuff. So I'm just in the background snickering and rolling my eyes heavily.
Right. For anyone listening to these podcasts, especially this one,
Yep.
I mean, the digression that is going to happen, it's like basically buckle up.
Yeah.
Because
people are either going to love this or despise it.
Hate it.
So, but I do want to interject, Joe.
Yes,
so
please.
Paranormal Palaver, it's I'm going to spell it out. You can find it on our website, just how it's spelled. So it's PARANORMAL, and then Palaver is PALAVER, and it's just paranormalpalaver.com. We also have a Facebook page. You can find the first podcast we just did last week. We're going to have 2 more next week. So feel free to head on over there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. So
No,
back
a lot
to
of
your,
great things that are going to
activity.
happen with that. I'm excited. And hopefully with this one, too. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Lots of fun.
Hopefully we
Unless
have some topics.
Jeff
otherwise-
just totally throws me out to the curb. Says,
Yeah.
You deal with your paranormal crap.
Well, no. As long as we talk about stuff that's not that, I think I'll be fine.
Right. Well, we are about to.
Talking about it's Halloween movies. We can't get away from paranormal stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Well, okay, so I sit down in the movie theater, and the terror and horror just comes over me when I find out there's this demon that's terrorizing this lovely couple.
Lovely.
They have no reason to be terrorized by a demon. I am absolutely... Well, later on, you find out that they actually...
See,
yeah.
I'm going to say I've never watched those movies because I don't really believe in it. I know
Sure.
it's fake.
Yeah.
It's similar to Krista has a strange affinity towards the Blair Witch Project.
Oh,
And
yeah, I've
again,
never seen
nothing. I don't believe in it. Nothing would interest me. To be honest, I've never watched really. I watched the Halloween ones because I like the idea of Jason Michael Myers as a serial killer.
that. Yeah, I love
that
that.
I
when
love
there's
serial killer
guys in
idea
masks
stuff.
coming at you.
But the way like Freddy Krueger in the dreams and stuff doesn't do it for me.
That is weird. Did
you
you know Johnny Depp
Go ahead.
was in those?
as like a young kid?
Yeah, I think he got murdered in that movie.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I just found out
that's
recently.
fine. Good to know. Thank you, Joe.
Yes.
So anyway, the scary movies that I tend to go towards are like The Hills of Eyes and Wrong Turn, where it's like what seemed to be normal people at one point, and now they just go off the rocker.
Yeah.
And that's why I really like Rob Zombie's new the Halloween remakes.
I heard
Because it
that
kind of goes more into his psychological stuff, which I think is kind of neat and interesting. Now, purists out there, don't hate me. I'm as a generation, that Halloween was before I was old enough. So for me, watching his 2 movies, Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses, really turned me on to that sick, perverted kind of horror movie. That's why I went to the Halloween. Go ahead, Joe.
that's absolutely terrifying.
They are weird. Yeah. I remember my sister, she loves Halloween movies, or scary movies. So she rents the House of a Thousand Corpses, and we're in our basement. All the lights are off, and I'm just I'm trying to be cool because I'm the older brother, and
totally.
and I'm trying to be cool. But yeah, it haunted me
Couldn't do
for
it.
a long time. It's got to be one of those you watch on a nice spring day where
Yeah.
just everything's great, everything
The animals
everything
are
will be
talking
fine.
to you, and like birds are flying in the window.
And if you have any sort of aversion to sick, twisted movies, those 2 movies have got to be on the top of your list. So, I do switching gears here a little bit. Along with the Halloween movies, I do want to give a shout out to the movie Casper. Okay,
The Friendly Ghost.
Casper came out. I got this here in '95. So I was a wee boy, middle school age, like I said,
just a wee boy.
and
Just a wee lad.
Christina Ricci and the heartthrob for all middle school girls and probably high school girls at that
And
point,
Jeff.
Devin Sawa. I looked up his name. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, right.
The heartthrob himself
You knew.
stole all of our hearts in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to give a shout out again to nostalgic Halloween movies that bring me back.
Well, Jeff, I'm glad I know that about you now.
All right. So that was my topic, Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Joe?
Well, but Paranormal Activity. So I go
Okay,
and I
well,
watch
we're
this
not done with
movie, and I literally get a stomach ache at the end of the movie.
Oh, so there's more to this story.
Oh, Jesus!
So
yeah.
you're done peeing your pants, and now
no, I
you're...
didn't even. I was so scared I couldn't pee my pants. It just all
Everything
closed up.
clenched up.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Well, and anyway, so I leave the theater like afraid to even be a human because it's just terrifying.
Okay.
And my brother had drove down from Stevens Point to come see this movie. He was going to school there at the time.
Okay.
And he saw me in the hallway, and I apparently was white. Like, I'm going to be sick white.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, what is wrong with you? You know? And I told him, like, that was the scariest movie I've ever seen. Like, I don't even think I'm going to sleep for 4 days. And I think it was like 2 or 3. Oh, Exorcism of Emily Rose, another terrifying
See,
one.
again, I don't believe in even being Catholic with the whole exorcism. I just don't get it. I don't believe in it. It's hard. I've watched the Poltergeist with the head
You're
turning.
probably
and the
better
whole thing.
off.
Yeah,
You're probably better off.
it just doesn't do it.
You're
for me.
not stuck with the terror.
So, Joe, I am curious,
plagues
Joe.
me.
Again, me asking about the mental thing. What makes Paranormal Activity so scary for you?
Well, the fact that until I
Because there's
I'm gonna loop what you're scared of and what I'm scared of right now and what I'm about to say.
Okay,
Until I found out about the dark web, I was not scared of human beings
okay.
because I feel like if you have the right skills, you can fight off any human being or creature of the world. Okay, and maybe that's just my naive.
Debatable, yeah. But,
Right. Well,
okay.
again, until I found out the dark web, where people just mysteriously disappear, and then all of a sudden they're on the dark web being eaten by anacondas.
Okay,
Like, it's
all right.
terrifying. But
Be another topic for another show.
demons know what gets you, like internally. Like they're fighting for your soul, not for you on this earth. They're fighting for what you think about, who you are, what happens.
So it's a mental thing for you.
Well, it's totally mental and a spiritual thing.
See, like that's why for me the idea is somebody off their rocker who has no moral compass anymore, and they're out to just destroy.
Yeah, but you
know,
chop their head off and they're gone.
Wait,
That
what?
easy.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
Then you're fine.
But the idea of somebody, like Michael Myers, who's always watching you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
he's the boogeyman. He doesn't die.
Yeah, he doesn't die. There's been how many movies now, right? You would think,
Right.
But yeah, I think that for me is the idea of like turning on, like we have a back porch, so like turning on that light, having somebody stand there on our back porch.
Well,
would
that
probably
is definitely terrifying.
I would definitely poo my pants. There's no, you know what I mean?
And that's
like
the
that.
classic jump scare.
See, I guess I just don't believe in ghosts, so I don't believe that there's anything like that out there. Versus a guy with a gun or a guy with a knife is a real thing there,
Right.
Right.
And Jeff, again,
Well, and
you live in a world of happiness and
yeah, I believe in
sunshine
realness.
and daydreams. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but
I get
okay,
that.
so Jake goes in, sees the movie. 'Cause
Oh,
of
okay.
course
There's
us-
more to this story, guys. Sorry, guys. For those of you who know Joe, he always has to finish every
Well,
conversation.
you gotta finish it. I mean,
Go
so
ahead.
he goes in and watches this movie, and I've set the bar so high
You can swear. It's okay.
Okay.
It was
So
4 minutes
damn
in,
high.
you ruined it. Okay. Go ahead. I'm
that
little kids, so.
he's already going in there thinking that, like, basically hell will open up and he will be sucked in while watching this movie.
Sure.
And then, so he's already not that scared of it.
Okay.
And then at the very end, allegedly, I wasn't
Allegedly.
there, but allegedly, a tall black man stands up and throws his popcorn on the floor and just says, "That movie was ass." And then, like, for me, I'm like, no, it
See-
was that scary, dude. So that's what.
And so your brother's opinion was that.
Well, he got entertained.
Yeah,
he was
sure.
entertained by it, but
Okay.
definitely not as scared. Not like I'm gonna die scared,
Okay.
So
As opposed to Joe, it made him look even worse, apparently. Years and years later, Thanksgiving dinners will be talked about Joe's.
it has come up.
It's great. That's so great. Oh, man. Okay. All right.
So there's our Halloween movies.
So I think that, that's good. I can't even think of anything else that I really. Halloween is.
when I watched Annabelle, that's another one. It's
I've
actually
never seen
recently
it,
been out. It's the one about the doll.
Yeah, see again.
But there too, like I watched it alone, or no, I was with a friend of mine. His name is Isaiah. Zubzaya. Hope you're listening. But anyways, we were at my house. All the lights were off because he's weird like that, where he's like, "Ugh." And then he's the kind of guy too. When you're watching a movie, he will scare you. Like all of a sudden, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then he comes back, hides behind the chair, and then like, and then you're just like,
I like
"No!"
your buddy already. I think
Oh
he's
my
awesome.
God,
We
it's
should get him on the
horrible.
train.
But yeah, we watched Annabelle, and by the end of that movie, we were literally sitting on each other's lap because we just couldn't handle it. It was
That's awesome.
terrifying. But
Okay, so I did at one point watch this movie called, and I had to Google it, The Boy. It's
I was told I'm supposed to. I
with
think I have
Lauren Cohan. Cohen, am I saying
have
right?
it in my vehicle
It's
right
the-
now.
it's the- it's
it needs
the,
to come out of my.
It's the
vehicle.
girl from
And
Walking
into my-
Dead. She's the I forget her character's name on Walking Dead.
Actually, I've never seen Walking Dead.
Okay, so good because Joe can't ruin it. I think I'm like a season behind. Anyway, that's terrible. So anyway,
Sorry.
The Boy. So the idea here is that this little the little boy is possessed, and they hired this girl to come take care of him.
Yeah, but
Okay.
isn't he a doll?
It's a doll. Yeah,
Don't
it's a
wreck this for me because I haven't seen it.
Okay, all right. So what I'll do is I'll Joe walk out of the room while I tell everybody. So anyway, okay, I'll no.
I'm not listening.
Joe's got his no. I won't spoil it. So anyway, this girl is hired to take care of this little doll, and the doll moves around. It will eat all this really crazy stuff, and she has to tuck it in at night, like treat it as in it's a real boy, Pinocchio, basically. Anyways, and so at the end, and I'm not going to ruin it for Joe. Maybe we'll talk about it at the next week. But at
Yes,
the end,
because I will
kind
see
of,
it. It's in my vehicle right now.
we figure out what's really going on, and I really want to talk about it because it basically reaffirms what I believe in, and
Well, I can only imagine now. I
Well, what is
probably
it?
just
What do you
has to
think?
do with she's probably just crazy.
no, not at all. Okay, we're gonna stop talking about it, but folks, if you want to catch up what Joe and I are talking about, we're gonna watch. He's gonna watch The Boy.
I'm gonna watch it
right here.
tonight.
And
Am I gonna be able to sleep tonight?
to be honest, the ending, it's not that great of a movie. I mean, I kind of skimmed through it and watched I kind of want to know what happens at the end. Like, I don't need all the build
You
up.
haven't seen it?
I did see it, yeah.
Well,
But it was
what
one
do
of
you
those
mean
things
you
where
don't
I'm just like, okay, enough. I get it. You know, it's like these slow build up movies. I just can't take it.
Yes.
Like I'm a all action man. Got to have the action. So I kind of watch up to boring. Okay, I get the point. Build up. A couple jump scares here and there. No big deal. It's
Yeah.
weird, creepy, and then boom at the end, something crazy happens. So
Whoa.
I watch the end crazy thing that happened. So
Okay.
I'd like to have you do that. We'll talk about it next week. So.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, good.
So okay, on to another genre, or should we not?
No,
do-
go ahead. I'm gonna write the.
I don't know what genre do you want to do?
Oh, we thought movie. Yeah, why don't you pick a different genre? Or do you want to do movies, or do you want to do something else?
I was thinking movies, but
Yeah, let's do movies. Let's do all movie podcasts.
ooh, tonight
Yeah.
that could get boring.
Oh. We've already been talking for 23 minutes now.
That's a good point.
Movies. So let's do. What do you want to do?
Well, there are cult classics. There are
Sure,
there's
let's-
obviously comedy. There's
Let's do.
action.
Why don't we start with
there's-
talking about one of your favorites,
Oh,
just in
shit.
general, or anything.
You
Like I'm giving you Desert Island. Give me 2 or 3 movies you have to have. Like, you want me to start? I have my immediate.
Okay.
So my immediate. I love James Bond movies. It would have to be a tie between GoldenEye, only because I fell in love with the video game GoldenEye, and then
Dude.
therefore became obsessed with the movie.
You say I can't talk about video games?
Okay, next time we'll talk about
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye video games. Okay.
GoldenEye,
So GoldenEye, or I really love
Road Rash.
a couple of the new James Bond ones that just came out with Daniel Craig. I really love.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Spectre. Those kind of movies. So that, and I love Anchorman, the first one. I just love that one. In college, we would turn it on every Saturday night. We would make dinner, hang out, have a bunch of drinks, and just have it on in the background.
Yeah, I totally get it.
And so it was just one of those movies. I think all Will Ferrell movies are that kind of. Well, not all, I should say, but most are. Step Brothers. A lot of different ones with him.
Yeah.
Old school, great
Sure.
classics in my opinion. Yeah. So go ahead, Jordan. I can see you've got something.
Well, I'm trying to, because there's so many. I was actually recently thinking, because when you have the movie channels or Netflix, you have the option of watching stupid movies,
Yes, there are a lot
dumb movies.
of terrible movies.
But you know what? I'm going to try and say this correctly. I've always been entertained in one way, shape, or form. I've never been like, I'm turning this off because it's so stupid. In some way, shape, or form, whether it's the story, the acting, or whatever, there's something good about it. And I'm not saying like even quality good. I mean like that I am entertained.
There have been movies where I have turned them off, and I'm a big movie buff, and I try to see as much as I can. Obviously, I've kids kind of ruin that for me. I can't do it while they're really there. I have to wait till they fall asleep. Anyways, we watch a lot. My wife, now that she's married to me, she ends up getting stuck watching a lot of movies. But I mean, there are some movies where there's one I watched. I think it was called Blacklist. One of the Liam Hemsworth or whatever was in it. It was terrible, and I invested an hour and a half into it, at that point, and I was like, I got to watch it at the end.
Back out.
And of course, like I text my buddy, I'm like, dude, this was a terrible movie. He's like, yeah, I could have told you that. I was like, oh, gee, So there's that one. And the only movie I think I've ever fallen asleep to, like dedicated trying to watch a movie, was MacGyver. Like the SNL guy was doing it. I don't know. It was only the last couple of years, but I remember it just being. It was like kind of corny. It was
MacGyver movie.
Those are the kind of movies that after a while, those are the ones I watch.
Huh?
Yeah.
Says a lot about you there, Jeff.
Yeah, I like I said, I love movies. I watch a lot of.
Well, of course, and
TV shows.
Like for me, okay. I'm trying to think back to like kind of what you said about just having it on in the background, because there were always movies that I would fall asleep to. One being Super Troopers.
Okay, good movie.
Another one being Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's based off the book written by Hunter S. Thompson.
Again, not my genre, but
well, yeah,
obviously a classic.
Like for me though, I've got history in that area.
Sure.
So I loved it,
And that wasn't me growing up.
And that's probably a good thing for you.
Yeah, probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm. But then we have the ever popular Star Wars, of course. But it's almost one of those things where it's like a staple. You're born in the 20th century, you're gonna like Star Wars, or at least for me. So it like comes with your packet, like. Here, Joe. Here's your packet. Star Wars.
I think it's. I think not so much as kids a little bit older than us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm 33, so I think there are some kids out there, like in the when they originally came out, that were like, "Oh my God, this is the bee's knees."
Well, and I saw it right around 5 years old, 6 years old.
See, my parents weren't big movie buffs, so I didn't watch a lot of those movies till I was older. So
I remember I watched Return of the Jedi. I was sitting in the stairs downstairs, and part with the Rancor coming on, and Luke had fallen into the thing, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And Luke defeated this thing with one of his own already eaten bones, But then too, when I was in high school, Lord of the Rings came out, and everyone was like, "Dude," because I hadn't seen it, and everyone's like, "You gotta see Lord of the Rings," I was like, "Shut up." Okay, stupid movie. Not going to see it, It wasn't until I was after high school that I was like, well, on my own time, I'm going to give it a shot, And so I watched it and loved it.
They're good. It's just not a movie I want to watch all the time. It's too long. It's too long. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so there's that one. And then a lot of, like, I can't want to say a lot of war movies, but like Inglourious Bastards is damn good to me.
But those are so intense. I'm not watching that because, like, same with like Shawshank Redemption. When everybody's like, "Oh, I always watch it on TBS and everything," I'm like, I do too, but I can't get into it like that. Like, I want to have a couple laughs and jump in and out of it. Mm-hmm. Where
did you see The Revenant?
No, I haven't yet.
It is good. I mean, it's a damn good movie.
The problem is like
but
3 hours long.
It's like it's. I did not leave the theater going like, I cannot wait to buy that movie, But I was like, wow, that was a hell of a movie.
The problem is it's a slow build too, and I know I'm going into it like
just Leonardo DiCaprio can't talk the whole time. He's like,
dragging himself. I don't know that I've never seen it, but I know it's like.
But the footage, wow.
Well, and I know. Reading about it, I know it took them a lot longer because it had to be the perfect lighting for a lot of the shots, and they could only do so much of it a day and all this other stuff, but. I do want to make a comment regarding the Lord of the Rings. So I was also one of those that I didn't think they were that cool when they first came out. Mm-hmm. I know Peter Jackson, there's a whole rigmarole about how, impressive these movies were and everything.
Oh, sure.
But it wasn't until we were in West Virginia hanging out at some random like cabin in the woods kind of thing that we were kind of just we're just hanging out and he's like, let's watch these Lord of the Rings movies because we have nothing to do and we're just kind of hanging out. And I was like, I don't really know. I don't know anything about these. And he's like, dude, they're great. So he puts it on. And, of course, like me and this other guy who had never seen it also, who's that guy? What's he doing? Like, just totally ruined it for this guy. But Zach's like,
Poor
oh,
dude.
and he's like having to tell us every detail about everything. I remember being like, probably not the best movie to, there's so many different characters. It's hard to keep track of them all.
Well, and at the end of the day, too, one of my favorite characters of all time, just in any type of entertainment, is Gandalf. I just love his wisdom, and I mean, Tolkien.
You've got to be one of the very few. Like,
No,
my idol in life is Gandalf.
Well,
the great.
Dude, it's Gandalf.
No,
And he died and came back.
wait, now you just ruined it for everybody. Thanks for the spoiler. Well, he dies and comes back, so there you go. At least you feel better about the coming back thing.
Oopsie-daisy.
So are we done with the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah,
I don't want to cut you off
I
because
was
then
done
you
with
come back to it and
Yeah.
it just ruins it. So I do also want to talk about two other, like, along with the idea of trilogies or movie groupings, whatever, would be the Back to the Future. I had a brain for that.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the Future set,
Totally.
and also the Harry Potter. I don't know why.
Only seen 2 of them.
We had this conversation. I don't know, whatever it was earlier today, probably.
Yeah, today.
And so I was never a big Harry Potter fan at first. All the books had come out. I'd seen the movies, obviously, and whatnot. But I was on vacation somewhere, and it just kind of turned out that I didn't have anything to do, and there was a couple Harry Potter books there. So of course I grab one, read the first book, and I'm like hooked. Like I'm like 25, so it's not like I'm like I'm a semi-grown man, and I was like, oh my god, these are amazeballs. We've got to get these, right? So I proceed to read the first book, watch the first movie, because I wanted to do it so that I could read it and then do it right away, so I had it in my head, right? So I did that all the way through, and I probably read all 7 books in like a couple months only. It didn't take me that long, but they're really good. And I think
You read them and watched them? Like,
yeah, right back to back.
simultaneously?
This way you read the book, and then it was fresh in your mind, so when you watch the movie, you're like, oh, that's cool, that's cool.
Huh.
Yeah, that's... So I got lucky that way. I think I'd watched 1 or 2 of the movies, so I wasn't like too caught up in it or whatever. So when I watched it again, it was cool because I just read it again. Obviously, there's more details in the book and everything like that.
Yeah.
And there's slight differences and but yeah, big shout out to the Harry Potter.
Big shout out. Big shout out.
Big shout out. I'm to be honest, I'm not really sure if I did the movie with the beasts.
You don't want to see that?
I don't know.
It's one of those things where I always see the previews for every movie that ever comes out, and I'm like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Never see it until way later.
I'm sure it'll be good, but I think I'm much more curious for the next set of movies with Harry Potter kids and all that stuff. So
I have to get better at reading. I can't.
Joe is
read.
basically illiterate.
No,
For those who
but
don't hear it, his voice.
I know. It's one of those things where you're like, everyone's like, "Oh, you got to read the book." You gotta read it. And I'm like,
everything's that way.
yeah, I'll get to it. Never, ever get to it.
Yeah. I used to read a lot more, but yeah, now it's everything's on my phone now.
Well, right.
I want snippets. I don't want a whole book.
I just want titles like "There's a rip in the magnetic field." I'm not gonna read it, but wow. Hey, did you hear? There's
Joe's
a rip
got
in the magnetic field.
Joe's got this thing where he knows he's eventually going to get invited to some fancy dinner party, and he's like, I just got to have a few headlines.
Guess what I learned on I Fucking Love Science.
So magnetic fields rips, huh? Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Get some caviar, some champagne.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that pretty much runs the gamuts for my movies. I mean, there's so many more that I'm not talking about.
oh yeah,
but that's because I can't remember that.
oh another movie. I just want I want to watch The Game again with Michael Douglas. The premise is that he's a rich guy, whatever, and his brother's kind of a not so rich, kind of down on his luck kind of guy, and he gives him this present because he's got the guy who has everything sort of thing, and he gives it's like a game. And so there's just different interactions that happen and different things that kind of are surprising. You don't know they're part of the game at first and different things. And it feels like his life's falling apart, basically. And so it kind of has it's one of those just really cool.
Sounds dark.
It is. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I had I'd seen it on online or whatever. I was like, I should watch that movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe watch that tonight. Ooh, that's
There
a good.
you go.
I'm gonna write that down. I should watch it.
Write
You know,
it
I do want to give a big
down.
shout out to
Big
Along Came a Spider, and one of the other ones where it's like psychological killers, where you have to figure out what's going on and who the bad guy is and everything. Like that one, there's a thing where it's all gravel and there's just a thumb sticking out of it or something like that.
What?
Yeah, and then they unbury this dead guy, and like this guy
You
captures
seen
people.
Shutter Island?
No, see, it's a mental thing there.
That is total mental thing.
Well, I know what
Oh
happened.
my
Somebody ruined
God.
it, so I know what happens at the end.
Yeah. Not even
So
gonna
I
talk
ruined
about
it.
it.
No, it's okay. You can spoil. I already
No,
know what happens. It's all in his head. He's one of the patients. I know it.
Well, sorry to anyone listening who has not seen Shutter Island.
Okay,
Jeff
if
just
you're
ruined it.
watching, if you're listening to this, Shutter
And you have
Island
not seen-
has been out long enough.
and you have not seen the Lord of the Rings to know that Gandalf dies and comes back, get off my back.
Shutter Island. There's got to be like a 5-year memorandum here that okay, I'm gonna look it up. Shutter Island. If it's happened in the last 5 years, I will feel bad. If not, I'm okay.
Right.
Okay, talk amongst yourself, Joe.
Well,
Talk about another movie or
talking to
something.
myself is special.
Shutter Island 2010. Boom shakalaka. We're good.
You just made it.
Just made it.
Just
That's
made
okay. Hey, we're almost at the end of 16. We're good here.
That is true.
Hey, you got plans for Thanksgiving, Joe?
Well, yeah, the normal. You know,
What's
just,
the normal?
I have family in Madtown, Madison, Wisconsin. So on Thanksgiving Day, usually go there, and then on the Saturday during the Thanksgiving break seas, we do Thanksgiving at my parents' house for my mom's side.
Oh, so you have
So-
2 family Thanksgivings.
Yes. Now Christmas is like all over the place. Well, and two, you got the significant other, so you got to work that into.
Mhm.
And I should probably look at my notes to see when that is. But I think it's on Thanksgiving Day.
Miranda, if
again.
you're listening to this,
Yeah.
Joe has no idea what's
No,
going on.
I know. It's on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
The
So-
day of.
So,
Last year it was, and guess what happens? The Packers lost the Mother Trucking Bears at Lambeau last year.
yeah, my life. I
Mm.
don't remember those things. I'm okay. Like when they lose,
Dude.
I blank out. It's done.
See, yeah, I
People are
black
like, oh,
out
this happened
because
last year. And I'm
I'm
like, I don't.
I am beside myself with
As I'm looking at Joe
Upsetness.
while he's saying this, he literally has a Packers.
well, it's
shirt on.
Friday and they're playing on Sunday.
I normally do too, but mine's in the wash.
Lame. You wear it dirty, okay?
That,
Who are you?
You know, I do have a superstition that if they win the game, I wear the jersey again, and normally I will spill on it at some point during the game because we go to my parents and my mom makes bomb food, so I'm like scarfing down, right? And so she makes really good food, so I'm eating. I will indubitably spill on myself, but if they win, I'm wearing that jersey again.
Yeah.
Now, if they lose, then I switch to the other jersey while the other one gets washed. So I have 2 that are going back and forth.
So basically, it's really just random. There's
No, but it is though. It's like it's if they're on a winning streak, I can't wash the jersey.
Oh, okay, I get it. I
Yeah.
get
So if they're winning, I might wear the same thing like
Yeah.
a couple days in a row or a couple weeks in a row.
See, I when I was growing up, I never caught myself saying "we" when referring to the Packers.
Oh yeah.
But nowadays, I hear myself say it all the time, and I'm like, okay, that is a little ridiculous. But no, it's not. It's the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
I own stock.
Do you now?
I do.
I don't. Family, I do. Family, I know I have. Does.
Yeah. So I mean, it's what you do.
Now, when did the Packers play this? Do they play on Thanksgiving or is it the Sunday after?
You know, I should probably look into that. Hold on a second.
So anyway,
Talk amongst
so
yourselves.
my Thanksgiving then we always do Thanksgiving with my mom's side
Mhm.
on Thanksgiving Day. On my dad's side, we just don't do Thanksgiving with them. It's kind of a different.
No giving of thanks on that.
we do different holidays for different families. So like Easter is always with my dad's family then, but we don't do Easter with my mom's family. So it's weird. Now Christmas we always do it the Saturday after Christmas
Okay.
because everybody wants to do it with their own family. So we figure. My mom has. We're going to clarify here. 11 brothers and sisters. There's 11 of them. So when we get together, it ends up being like 50, 60 people at my parents' house.
What?
So it gets to be quite
Little-
excessive.
little warm.
So to get that many people together, also, yeah, we actually open the doors just because there's so many people.
And you're cooking
oh,
and
yeah.
eating.
If people come to our house and they it's the most food they've ever seen in their lives, basically. there are banquet tables just with desserts, just desserts. It's not we don't mess around.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah,
you open doors.
There's some
strangers are coming in on the street.
Yeah,
there's an open door. Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
If you can make it over, our family will let you in and eat.
Banquet table,
but it's secret. It's secret, so we can't. So those of you listening, don't show them as.
So 11:28.
Okay, what does that mean? Well, that's the day. Okay, 11. It's not that time right now.
Come on now. Packers against the Eagles at 7:30 p.m.
Oh, so it's the 28th is which day?
That's not Thanksgiving, is it? No, it's the 26th.
You have it in front of you. Why aren't you telling me?
27th. No, when is Thanksgiving? What is the day of Thanksgiving? It's the same every year.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's a Thursday every year.
See, that's true. What I mean.
That's true. I think you're drunk. I don't know what's going on. It's the yes, it is the 17th, I believe. I hopefully. No, it's the 24th. 17th. It's the 24th. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I was getting excited. I was looking at my calendar.
So yeah, they play the 28th.
So that's Monday night game afterward.
Whoop whoop.
I don't know if I to be honest, I kind of like the idea that they don't play on Thanksgiving because every time we go to my uncle's house, there's so many of us and there's not a lot of seats. Yeah. I can't really watch the game very well.
I get it.
And I'm one of those people that my dad and I will just sit and watch the game and we'll only talk to each other and there's no other distractions. Like I don't want any other stuff happening.
Right.
Like I don't like watching the Pack game with other people because
you don't have to explain it to me.
I swear a lot. Like I'm a sailor. Get 2 or 3 drinks in me and I'm cussing like the world's never seen. And 2, I just want to like just yell and scream, and yell at the TV like you see in the TV, on TV shows and stuff.
I get it.
Crazy sports people.
So last year when they lost to the Lions at home, did you see the picture on Facebook I posted?
No, I didn't.
Stupidly, I posted it. I don't know. I was in a pissed off stupor.
Oh, okay, all right. Angry, so even worse. Yeah.
I ripped up my living room. I actually broke a chair. I threw it
really
over my head like a recliner.
Some
people say I might have a problem.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, my dad yelled at me.
He yelled at you.
I don't live with them. I don't have anything. I mean,
so okay.
He literally was like, "Joe,
clarify. Where did you break this chair?
In my living room.
At your
parents' house.
At your house. Okay.
My house. The house that I own.
I could see if you were at your parents' house and you broke one of their chairs.
Yeah.
Your dad's like, Joe,
my mom
really, dude?
No, because like everybody's obviously on Facebook, and my mom,
obviously,
the next time I saw them, she just hung her head in disappointment, and my dad was like, "You need to get your shit together."
Oh, really?
Okay.
Is that what he said?
This is not that important.
So
it is a game, Joe.
Are your dad and are your parents then big Packer fans?
Well, of course.
Okay, but clearly not as much as you.
Not as much as me. No, they constantly are bickering at me about how much it runs my life.
Oh, really? So you admit you might have a Packer problem?
I wouldn't call it a Packer problem.
If you're breaking things because of it, you may have a Packer problem. So, yeah, it's one of those Jeff Fox.
If you
may have a Packer problem. If
okay, to clarify, I got the chair for free. Okay, first off, I didn't pay for this chair. It was very comfy though.
How bad did you break it? Like to the point where you had to throw it away?
No, it is now in a shed being used as like a hunting. Someone.
So it got downgraded into
totally.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's definitely usable.
It's an outdoor.
It was a recliner.
Okay.
No longer able to be used as a recliner
because you broke it.
Because I broke.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Did you have to nail it like in place?
No,
then
it just took the handle off so no one would. Because once you sprung up the leg razor, whatever you would call that.
The leg razor.
The leg riser.
It's a technical term you wouldn't understand.
Once you brought that up, you weren't able to bring it back down. You had to
I guess I'm
do surgery on this thing to get it back down. So okay. I will admit, but hey, this year I have been very controlled. I count to 10.
Joe is very much a mild-mannered individual, in my opinion. Laughs, giggles like a normal person, whatever, or a little baby, whatever. But Joe being angry enough to break a chair is almost slightly shocking to me. I don't quite understand it. So I kind of want to see this. What we should do is we should set up a camera in your room while you watch the Packer game and just see you go nuts.
Now, like I said, nowadays there's not much to report.
Were you going through something maybe at that time? Were you just taking out your frustrations on the chair?
Well, last year was the first time they literally sucked in a long time.
last year they made through the playoffs. With
They
some
did.
crap.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy, too, to be like, the Packers are just, they've turned down a road and they can't get back, because I really do. I mean, we still have Aaron Rodgers. who is- Yeah. We still have a phenomenal team. We have more talent than so many teams in the NFL.
Correct.
But anyways,
a losing season for us is
Right?
a great season for the Jaguars. You know,
the Browns. Oh my God,
the Bears. Any team like
Right.
that.
Hey, congratulations to the Bears for beating the Vikings.
Yeah, great game by them.
Wow.
You know, we were just talking.
I can't believe I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
Driving
They
home
got
from work,
murdered.
and the score. I luckily found a Chicago station up here,
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah.
I'm listening and I hear the score. I'm like, wait, what? And I wanted
gotta
to
be
like
backwards.
Devo it and like go back, you know, TiVo
on a
it.
radio.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I wasn't able to.
Yeah,
so they
that's
said it
the thing.
again. I was like, what? So I
Yeah.
texted all my Bears fans,
I did have a conversation with,
and then they were
somebody.
pissed because they bet against them. They were
Yeah,
like,
Bill did.
I can't trust them to win. I can't trust them to lose.
Well, the thing is, the Vikings were playing so good, you knew they had to come crashing
Yeah.
down to earth at some point. And being a division rival like that,
Yeah.
and on a Monday night, right?
It was.
That was
was
a perfect.
awesome.
And I even had a conversation with somebody. I said, you know what? I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. Now, by that handily, that was. Now Cutler did come back. I didn't. You know,
Yeah,
He's-
but he
last year
does
he
have
played really
games.
great.
Well, look at Lambeau.
Yeah.
What he did there.
yeah.
That
And then
was
he
stupid.
throws a whole bunch of interceptions the
Yeah.
next 10 minutes. All gone. So
Ridiculous.
yeah. So. Well, this year it'll be good. I don't think we're that bad off.
No, we're
We should be fine.
We're fine. And two, like, I've come to accept the fact that we are not the same team we were 2 years ago. Whatever that means, I don't know. But I still have fun watching the Green Bay Packers.
sure.
Of course. And I will always be a Packer fan.
But I always get drawn back to when we won the championship against the Steelers, how we were not playing very well
No.
for a long period of time.
2010.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
All those
you turn the
injuries.
switch on, and we
Right
just
at the
plow
playoffs.
right through the playoffs. And
Yeah.
so that's what I give hope every year, because I'm like, we're not playing good now, but let's get some of the let's say, like right now, all three of our top cornerbacks are out. We get through those three back, we're gonna be okay. So
I was totally thinking about that last year. I was like, but last year, I mean, it was almost like we were exhausted. All of us, the Packers, the fans, we were all just tired.
quite a
and
few,
we were like, sad.
game winning,
Sad. But then at the end of the day, too, we're like, okay, just take a break.
I think I was just happy. I mean, there was so many times where we were out, and then we miraculously
Sure.
came back to life.
I was like, you can't keep doing
Yeah,
that to me.
yeah. I remember-
Heart
yeah.
attack.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to watch one of the games at Bill Allen's house, who's a notorious Bears fan. Terrible person. Anyways, not a terrible person, just a terrible.
Bill, you're a good guy.
Mind
You
state
just
for liking the
a
Bears
fan.
and in general, he's a Chicago guy.
Yeah.
But I had to watch
Congratulations
it
to
there.
The Cubbies, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations! It's a great game. My wife and I made a bet, so I won that bet, and she is not
Nice.
happy. So I get to not have to do anything all night one night, which is like the dream.
What is that? That's like your normal night.
No, I'm not. Last night I made dinner, helped give my kid a shower, put the kids down, and clean up dinner, and clean up the rest of the house.
And then you woke up from your nap.
while she took a nap.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
So anyway, I had to watch it at Bill Allen's house, and he just didn't care one way or another.
Yeah.
So when I was going nuts,
He's
he was
so
just
passive, too.
just sitting there like he didn't. And of course, I think he had
Just
he might have
rolls
bet
off
on
his
it
back.
too. So he was like angry and happy, and
Yeah.
at one point, I think he's like, I'd rather lose the money and have the Packers lose, just to
Yeah.
see our broken hearts. And I think that was the game that we did lose eventually.
I do have to give it to the Bears fans that live in this area. We live in the Sheboygan County area.
Sure.
And, I mean, we're right there. Basically, this is Packer Nation.
Yep.
I mean, we're
We're
knocking
dead
on the
nuts, right?
Yeah,
We're
pretty much. We're not Green Bay, but we're basically Green Bay. Okay,
We're like the dirty stepchild of
We are
Green Bay.
totally the dirty stepchild of Green Bay.
Yeah.
But for anybody who especially working where we work, to come in on a Monday morning after the Bears lose or the Packers win, they hate themselves and all of us all at the same time.
Yes.
How no one has gone postal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it's a kudos to Green Bay Packer fans though too, is that it all seems to be good-hearted ribbings. Like I
feel
hear about
it
other
is.
fans in other soda stadiums and it gets to be much more heated and whatnot. And so I think we give Bill a hard time and all other Bears fans, but I've had it too where the Bears win and he gloats and he gives it just bad to us, so it all works.
But that's rightfully so. I mean, we deserve it when we deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's part of being a good fan, though, is to
so.
understand that to the point. It's just a game, and to shake hands and all that goody two shoes middle school stuff that you learn, and not to beat up furniture or somebody else or
Jeff. You didn't have to.
Joe doesn't want to talk about it. So yeah. So we digress into Packer fan stuff, and hopefully
it's a big deal.
It is. Obviously, Joe and I are very passionate about it.
It's a big deal.
So one of the big things that Joe and I talked about is that this is just a guys kind of just hanging out on Friday night talking,
right.
And so we are hoping to get guests in quite often.
Yeah.
And so just to BS, we're just hanging out talking.
Literally.
Hopefully we have topics. Hopefully, literally in our office. Hopefully we have topics to talk about. Otherwise,
if not, grab bag.
Yeah, it'll just be kind of news stories or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if you guys just want to hear us talk about something, just throw it in an email or
which we will put this together. Like I'm really excited about the idea, even while sitting here, because this is working out. At least to me, it is. We're gonna play it back. And be like,
I'm having a good time with it. Hopefully, everybody else thinks it's funny too.
We should probably just trash that whole idea.
Well, we're gonna do that. All right. So Saturday night with Joe and Jeff.
And no one listening to this is laughing.
Any hoozles. So we're going to have some guests in. So if you listen to this and you want to be a guest, let us know. You can bring your own topic. You can talk about whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Hopefully nothing. We're going to try to keep it semi-PG, like I said.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that.
I can bleep them out. That'd be kind of funny.
That would be hilarious.
Which is like beep joke. Because I think my count, I've got 2 F-bombs. So if we can bleep those out. I've been trying to be good. My wife yells at me all the time for swearing. I've got 2 little ones.
I cannot deny that I think my mom is going to listen to this.
Well, then maybe we can take the bleeps out. We can take them. So
for
Joe's mom, you want the bleeps to stay in there for your mom,
right? I mean, like the fact she doesn't have to hear them is fine.
Well, okay. So it was really you were just reading off a website.
Well, that is the title of the
effing
website.
Science,
and I have liked it, so I'm sure it shows up on other people's feeds. I fucking love science.
I think Joe just likes saying the website name. Anyways, but yeah, so that's that. I think we're gonna wrap it up though.
No.
Yeah, I think we are, because we're gonna try to keep them under an hour. Because
sorry for all those.
We have a lot of people who want to listen to us, and they have an hour drive, and so we want to keep it around that time.
Yeah. So we appreciate it very much. I hope this turns into something hilariously awesome.
Yep.
And not in a hilarious sense that people are just laughing at us because
I'm okay with that. You can laugh at us or with us. I'm totally okay with it. Yeah.
Yes. But this should be good. I guess finish while you're ahead. Stop while you're ahead.
The other thing is, Joe and I, we'd like to do these every Friday, but I think it'd be cool to maybe have some more. Yeah. So if it works out, or maybe if we get a special guest and they can't make Fridays, maybe we'll do a special
for that.
A special with that. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Right.
Again, this is Jeff and
Joe,
and this is Friday night
with Jeff and Joe.
Friday night, which is simple. Yeah. So thank you for listening.
We don't mess that up too much.
Say that every time. Like, what is it again? I forget.
I know with Jeff and Joe.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Tune in next time. This is Joe signing off. Motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
Mother beep.